start. My research will be about Frank Lloyd Wright. He's one of the most famous American architects in the modern time. And I kind of surprised that he really influenced from Japanese art, and he traveled 7 times to do his work, and he bought some Japanese art through his life. And so my thesis, the title will be like a fusion of the two cultures brings his, he became most famous architect in the world. And my first section will be a little bit about the Japanese art, how the Japanese art introduced to him. So I start a little bit about how he knew about the those arts. And second section will be more specific about what he did in Japan. And actually he took a lot of photographs while he traveled, because he wanted to grab the view of the beauty in Japanese habitation or landscape or buildings. So I will use some example about the relationship between his style and Japanese art. This is the most famous Japanese art around that time, which is the wooden block painting. And those are manga. Japanese manga was globally into the worldwide. And those are Japanese buildings that first introduced to United States. So he really get into those structure and lifestyle. So he translate those specific function of Japanese life into his style. Those are example of the Japanese function. And he translate those Japanese art into his drawing. He literally like a trace to create his geometric pattern, and he used those patterns into his stained glass, which is really famous as his characteristic. And he really inspired a 3-dimensional perspective as well. He took Japanese structure into his future works. Those are his future vision. It's really similar to Japanese painting like that. It's really, the building start into the landscape. He really inspires those aspects. And he designed a public hotel in Tokyo Tokyo, which is his masterpiece at the time, and this is the kind of my final research about his design. But maybe next step I need to interrupt my own perspective to his lifestyle or career, and I kind of notice I have kind of similar situation with him, so that's why I think I'm here to find some unique combination or collaboration between two cultures.
Great. So can you go back to, so your first section is about how Frank Lloyd Wright was exposed to Japanese art, and then your third section is about analyzing his architecture for specific Japanese influences. What was your second section? I missed that.
I think second one is more about the two-dimensional influence that he got from like a photograph or.
Okay, so second section is two-dimensional influence, and the third section is three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional.
Okay. And so it's in the conclusion that you might give a little bit of your own personal insight as somebody coming from Japan, working in an American context.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very nice. Can you show us some of your sources again? Can you show us the list of your sources?
Look, almost let's see. Are we sure tomorrow?
So, okay.
Calendar.
Okay, so nice. I see that
Rubber.
you've labeled them, which are secondary and which are tertiary. Okay. So,
This one is the most
useful.
interesting.
Can you make it a little bigger so I can see?
Let's see.
The role of traditional Japanese art and architecture in the, yeah, that seems like it would be very helpful. Okay, so it's an entire book. It's a book.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, any questions? Well, it's great.